Okay, CEO Wisdom Bank. It's a very big market, and definitely there are competition because we are actually going into something that we already have a lot of people into it already. So can you at least tell us maybe let's just say a minimum your three largest competitors in this space?
We're not in business to compete with anybody.
Yeah, but there is always competition.
Well, if you choose to be a competitor, you're on your own. We
Ah,
are there because we want to cover for that fraction of Nigerian population that has not been taken care of, that has not
okay.
been catered for.
Okay, you are referring to the people at the base of the economic pyramids.
Well, if you got them
Yeah.
big, there are still hungry people at the top of the pyramid. We are very concerned about that fraction that are not being taken care of. And if you are not careful and you have been into this business and you're not taking care of your customer base properly, we might end up having them to our side. But we will not be competing with you. We will not dangle into your business. We'll be on our lane, line for
But definitely with all the advertisement, the market promotion, the sales discounts, you're trying to lure some people from the other side to your side. So,
Well, I don't know where they belong. All I just know is that we're out to bring food to the top table of Nigeria. So
okay.
wherever they are faced there because we haven't been in existence.
Okay, let's take it that Wisdom Bank doesn't want to identify that there's a competition and maybe technically they want to be free adverts.
I'm responsible for what I say and what I mean.
Okay. Okay, then let's do you have maybe local presence established in the market network? I mean, let's okay within your constituency, that community where Wisdom Bank farm is going to be. Do you have what are your plans for distributorship
Okay,
and the network?
in the course of trying to train people, we are not only limiting our training to just our farmers. We're also going to be training people on agro marketing, wherein we train you to be a distributor of our goods, and we also give you funds to start up. So you buy from us, and then you have a warehouse somewhere within the town. Maybe I'll use a decoder on the border example. Let's say you have a warehouse or a distribution point in Adobe, and our farm is in Opake, for instance.
Okay, these are small hamlets, small villages.
They're not villages, but the Opake where I came from, where we have abundance of land, and such areas as Apanko and all those places, we could have a presence in terms of farm and field work there. Now, you as a distributor could ask for some things, make orders, and our duty is to bring it to you. I haven't seen a lot of repayment. So we are going to be helping to create a micro market where people can access these things closer to them instead of you traveling down to the farm. But then if you want to beat all of this, certainly the very microscopic few of the population want to travel down to the farm. Those two we're going to be taking care of them. Because if you have to travel down, we'll beat down the cost for your inconveniences.
Okay.
But those who don't need to travel, the old women don't need to travel, the youth who are in school don't need to travel, the mothers who have children at home don't need to travel, so they can just go straight to the distributors, buy what they
Pick it up
buy.
from there.
Yes, but we are promising that we will do all we can to bring down the price.
It is affordable
Very affordable.
and you still be providing quality.
In fact, quality is our watchword.
Okay. In every business, there's always that risk and uncertainty. It's very wild, and some businesses limited. But we all know that for agribusiness farming, that the risk and uncertainties are actually a little bit very dicey. Yeah. So, other than cash flow for goods, every business it's generalized. Everybody talks about cash flow. It's either you're trying to break even or you are not making profit and all that. Other than that, what are the challenges or risks that might affect the success of Wisdom Bank Farm?
Point of correction. T3 farm.
T3.
T3
T3 farm.
I'm a man of versatility. why sometimes I quote from one person to the other. The words of Oedipo, David Oedipo, he said, in the words of David Oedipo, he said, and I quote, a little here, a little there makes the whole lump. And that's actually scripture. So I tend to learn from here and there, and then I bring them together
from a lot of experience.
to become a whole lot of ideas that are inputted into our services. Talking about challenges, we are ready for challenges. Why did I quote this man of God? I was just trying to join his quote with the reality that happens in Christ Embassy. They believe that whatever the challenge is that comes, you have an answer to that challenge. You don't need to complain. There is no challenge that comes to you that is greater than you. And that is what the scripture says. So therefore, there are a lot of challenges that comes with farming. Vis-a-vis this kind of farming that we are trying to go into, large-scale farming. You said I should try as much as possible not to go into the financial challenge because it is very evident everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yes, thank you. I will be very careful not to go there, but it is still part of it. Then we have such challenges as labor. Your workers might not be willing to sustain the energy that they came in with. Therefore, they may end up becoming less productive. And in this case, we have come with touch of excellence and class. We are not willing to go below the line, below the bar. So any worker that is not going to be giving us productivity as we want might be asked to take his leave. And that will affect us indirectly. That's one. We also have some of them who may be sick along the line. All of these are challenges, whether we like them or not. We also have the challenge of insecurity. In Nigeria of today, many farmers have been complaining of insecurity. Banditry attack, kidnapping of farmers. Just some time ago, farmers were kidnapped in Abaji. It affects yield, it affects farming, it affects food security, whether we like it or not. Therefore, insecurity is one of it, but then, like I said, we are going to be up to the task. We are going to be providing such things that will be shall we go? 1, 2, 3. Right? Talking about insecurity, not too long ago, we understood that about 12 farmers were there, about between 9 and 12 farmers were kidnapped in Abaji. This has an indirect effect or direct effect on food security of this nation. So insecurity is also one of the challenges that we are hopeful might come. Anticipated, they are anticipated. But then we will be up to the task to provide our own solutions that will reduce insecurity in our terrain to the barest minimum. We also have the place of natural disaster, rainstorm and all of that. But one of the things we will not do is that we will not be building our farms along the path of nature. You cannot have a farm close to the river and you'll be expecting that one day the river will not overflow. It will overflow. You cannot have your farm close to where we have landslide currently and you expect that one day there won't be landslide that will have your farms covered. So all of these are preventive measures that we also put in place. Anything outside that comes our way, we will be ready and able to suppress them.
Okay. That being said, I want to this area I want to go into now is the operational management. We all believe that in every business, aside agribusiness, that operations, the way you manage your business from production, quality control, supplies, and sales and staff, customer base and all that is what determines the sustainability of that business. So I'd like you to tell us what are the three success factors, like the core values of wisdom and I think that it will sustain this business for a very long time, to even outlive the generation. Incentive. You keep talking about incentive, but you say you don't want to accept that there is competition.
Yes, I don't want to accept. I don't want to accept because if you are feeding a million people and there are 5 million persons, and I'm also into farming, I can decide to choose the next 1 million. So I'm not competing with you.
Incentive as number one. So what else?
Yes, incentive is one. What will make it outlive us is to have some form of successional plan.
Okay, that's good.
Successional plan.
When you have a succession plan, it makes the business open to even outside investors.
The father then it will outlive.
So what about quality of products? Have you considered that?
Yes, like I told you, at the entrance of our business, we are going to be training our workers, and the consultant will be made to understand that ours is top notch. So whatever he's going to, or they are going to be training our workers to do, is to ensure that the output is nothing less than excellence. So.
Okay, I've been asking you questions on your financial plan, but it's very, very confidential for our clients. So we'll leave that. We can't talk about those figures. That's our policy. So, but we would like to know what are the barriers to growth for this project. Like, you know that there are a lot of challenges, barriers, and so let's hear.
I've told you before now the barriers to this. The basic one is the finance.
Wow.
Is the finance. There is nothing you cannot achieve if there's money. Even love can be bought with money. In quote. I don't know how to do it, but it has
I don't know anything about
it has
love.
It has been an adage.
But if you ask me about farming,
after farming is love. You know. So finance is about the major issue.
It's important. So what else after finance? Are there other barriers to what about
well, other barriers that we should have had. I've told you that we'll be making available solutions. Yes, insecurity will be provided top-notch things that are not meant for the public consumption.
And if my fans want to know about your secrets,
well, from the name Wisdom Bank, we have a bank where we store wisdom. So if you need that, you can actually come to us, and then we give you. You will pay us for consultancy, and then we'll teach you how to go and dance.
Okay, before I delve into offering business solutions, I would like you to tell us the support services you'll be wanting from us, like let me say
business administration.
What about finance? What about markets?
Well, like I told you, we don't need to fight for market. Market is available.
So
very available.
So let me come back again and ask you about competition.
Like I told you, we're in no competition with anybody. But the basic things that I'll be mentioning here are just two. Every other ones are sublime, they are not important.
Access to
finance
is
access to finance.
Very important.
We'll be asking ADB, the Agri Development Bank, to support. World Bank can help us. And all of those financial institutions can help us. Then the business administration will be needing a lot of consultancy support in this area because we cannot know it all. So that's about that.
Okay, my viewers, we've heard so much from the CEO Farmer, Honorable Jibril Abu of Wisdom Bank and the TT project in Ajakuta, the Steel City. So after listening to him, I'm very sure that you've been able to pick a lot of points from how he has been able to arrange and incorporated his own business idea, and the prospect is looking at to see how it's going to work out. And we've done a lot of behind the scenes conversations before this one that you are all privileged to see. So from our own end, we would like to tell you from what we have been discussed, I've been able to table a lot of things down, and I would like to share with you guys. Number one is the labor. When I asked him about about staffing and how he's going to manage them. We talked about training them, and we all know that in business, when you train your staff, you expect results from them. So it wouldn't be nice that you train your staff and because your staff see a better opportunity somewhere else in the next 3 months and they are already resigning. So in this case, we would like to tell the CEO that it would be good to do a contract staffing. You train them, and when you train them, you are spending a lot of resources to train them. So it would be good for you to sign a contract with them. Do you want them to work with you for 1 year, 2 years, and they sign it as a contract? So within that period, whether there are other juicy offers or not, you'll be able to get the best result from you. Remember, in business, aside welfareism, profitability is number one. And even while you want to get profitability, you want to achieve that, you also have to bear welfareism at the back of your mind. That is the reason why he's going to be giving them good welfare packages. But at the same time, we all know that every one of us are Oliver Twist. So in order to cushion that as a businessman, you have to tell them to sign the contract. Then another one is the risk and uncertainties. He's already talked about how he's going to set up security system that's going to offer them security for the headsmen, which is a very big problem right about now. In fact, the Minister for Defense recently told us that everyone should be answerable for their own security. In my own little understanding, I would say that his office is actually not valid. If you can tell us that, because that's why we appointed him. But that's aside. We're going to tell Mr. Wisdom Bank Farm, the CEO of Wisdom Bank Farm, that please, it would be good for you to insure your farm. I think there are lots of very portable insurances that have been given, agri insurance. There's been a lot of reform in that sector. Before now, most insurance, they don't even do agricultural insurance, right? Because these uncertainties are very, very high, because it's prone to a lot of natural disaster. There could be flood, there could be fire disaster, and theft as well, and all that. But now there are a lot of packages for even poultry, animal husbandry, and all that. So you could take some very smooth covers. I don't want to call names because I'm not doing materials for them, but I think there are some that can give you at 3%, 4% for covers for all the components in your farm. Then the raw materials I asked you, and you kept talking about modernization and all that. It's very good that you have it in mind that you would like to use the best inputs and be sourcing from reliable source. But at the same time, I would advise that your farm is one that is sustainable. Like for the poultry farm, at implementation, I think you should start with the precision farming, where you have your maize, your granules, your cassava, and all these, and you harvest them in maybe 3 months to 1 year. And within that period, you are setting up your poultry, your batch cage system, your pens, and for the ostriches and the bulls and the sheep and all that. So by the time you are harvesting from your farm, you use the products there to make the feed for your poultry farm and for the pens. So the farm looks like it's sustainable. The little money your initial capital you're able to revolve it around your farm. So there won't be need for you to say, okay, we are working and we have to look for extra money for your operational costs, because basically the problem that most startups have is operational costs. By the time you have wage bill, you have to buy raw materials, you now look at your cash flow, you find out that the more money is going out than it's coming in, and they are already been scared, and you still have to pay workers, and you are not earning revenue at that time. So for debt financing, I want to talk about that because we talked about getting loan and from banks and be partnering with them. It's very good. Debt financing is actually good. It's one of the alternative source of income aside personal savings and grants. But for startups, we usually advise that you don't go into debt financing, because most times, like we said, risk and uncertainties, these are projections. They kept calling figures, very attractive figures, 6,000 crates of egg. Do you know how many millions are that? But sometimes you don't even know what might happen. in as much as a business person, you are optimistic, you have been able to put in a lot of things in place, but you still have to give that little closure of the unknown. Maybe that's 10%, 1 to 10% of the unknown. So it's always good that you start first very little, and when you have been able to cross all the hurdles and there's an established market and a running system, then you can now go into debt finance. So you bring in loan and you know that, okay, I'm taking in 50 million to put into my business because I already have a market that I'm servicing and I don't have the capacity. You want to expand. So already that money is coming in, it's going, and you are very sure. So if you don't take debt financing, you don't get loans from maybe microfinances, you can sleep with your 2 eyes closed and you are not at risk to develop high blood pressure. And that's asset financing. Marketing, you talked about you already in business, Lotrex Interbiz, and you kept asking the relationship of your market. Most cases when we start a business, we want people to buy. You are the CEO, that business is you. So we advise that if you already have a business somewhere, you can connect with your customer base there, your clients. Oh, I'm now selling fishes in my house and all that. There are people that you've been doing business with. That integrity, the customer relationship has been built is there. We can tap into it. They will easily buy from you. Why? Because they've been doing business with you and you know that, okay, when they were doing business with you, you offer, this is what you offer: credibility, integrity, you are sincere. When you say this is it, that's what it is. So they readily buy into it. Then you can now continue looking for prospective customers and building your customer base. And believe me, those customers you have already from the other business, when they buy from you, you tend to get referrals. Because when customers buy and they get value for their business, they will always refer other people to you. Okay, we're looking at losses in projections. How do you manage losses in projections? The truth of the fact is that there are a lot of losses that comes out. Sometimes it might even be from your staffing system. You train them, but we all know that human capital is the toughest to manage because they have their own mind system. Unlike animals, if you have your sheep in the pen and you ask them to sleep, you ask them to go this way, they go that way. But for humans, you give them directives. They feel that they have their own inclination, they want to add something, they want to remove something and all that. And in the process, it's either it works out well for them or it doesn't work out well for them. So the losses that comes from there, you definitely need an expert. That's where they come in. And I only be telling you this because you have to pay for consultancy. But that will be on the other side, because when you say loss in business, it means that money is going out that's unaccountable for, and that's not good. For today, we'll try to round up so that we can set our CEO free. He can go back to his fan base, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you guys and that session of this program with Sophie Consult. And I still remain your guest and business development expert, Bdsp and Beauty. Keep that down. Thank you.